Respect the place that you call home. Respect the land in which you roam. Respect the country you were born. Let's take it back. Respect reform. Hold on to freedom, hold on to hope. Don't give them slack, don't give them rope. Don't walk and hang your head in shame. Be proud, stand tall, and we will reign.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 31 of the podcast, Conversation with Neil Stevens. And I've been off a little time here, so apologize for seeing me too soon in the video here. But, and also you probably noticed that I'm outnumbered 3 counselors to 0 here. So my Weetabix box is gone. My Roundup spray
We've had
is
it
gone.
clear out, Rob.
The whole flipping thing, right, Neil?
And the applause. We're not
yeah.
doing the applause. So
Come on.
But we are still in that secret bunker. Just remember that.
Okay, what are we doing here today, huh?
well, first of all, apologies for being late. And as you can
Again.
see at the beginning, Rob,
Again.
he's only been off 1 week and he forgot how the buttons work. So, Rob, are you with it now?
I'm good, Neil. I'm good. I'm always good. I'm
Okay,
always
so
ready.
first of all, good evening, guys. Hopefully everybody appreciates what we're doing, and reasons why we're doing this is to get the message out. It's been an interesting day. It's been a very interesting week. We've got different things to report to you, which affects everybody in Exeter. Nat,
Oh, yeah.
nice
Hi,
to have you
everybody.
back.
Yeah.
You can tell them about your disastrous week if you don't mind in a minute.
I don't want to talk
In
about
fact, let's
floods
talk about it
anymore.
now. Talk about your
Well, hang on a
disastrous
second.
week.
Hang on a second. Can I just interject here? Okay. First of all, we're taking calls tonight. I assume. Are we? Huh?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I
Okay.
forgot
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So let's put that little slide up there. Okay. Bear with. Talk us through that. What is that slide there, Neil? Huh?
Okay, so we've outed a bit because the phone calls, because we haven't got anybody to monitor the phone right now, but you can get hold of us. We've got people on the Facebook page and the WhatsApp. So interaction, any questions, if we can answer them, we will answer them. And, you know, it's black and white with me.
If not, we'll do a politician's answer.
No, you won't. No
get
politicians
back,
here.
We'll get back to you on that.
Normal people.
Okay. So now we have a lot of people tuning in. In fact, we had somebody from Australia 2 weeks ago, guys. And I know that some of my clan in the U.S., all Irishmen. of
We've
course,
gone
now,
global.
Tune in. So tell us who you are just briefly again and how long you've lived here, a little bit about yourself, because some of you may not know out there who these people are. Tony?
All right, I'll start first. Look, so my name's Tony Stevens. I'm the County Councillor for St Thomas and Exwick, and I've lived this side of the river all my life. So there's not much else I can say really on that one. I'll pass across to another Stevens.
Yeah, which the council get confused whether it's Tony and Neil. Same again, lived there most of my life. No, Robert, we don't want any of these noises, okay? We've had a discussion on this.
Yeah, come on.
I'm the councillor for Cowick and Alphington Ward, and I've only been a councillor for 7-8 months, so they call me a newbie, but enjoying every minute of it, and there's a lot to tell you about pros and cons and things are not happening, but we won't go into that. And I'll pass you over to Nat.
Nah.
Good evening, everyone. Apologies for last week. We had a few minor issues. I'm Nat Vanstone, represent the Broadcliffe area as a Devon County Councillor, and absolutely loving life. It's a good. Hello, we're
No, keep
we've
going.
got issues.
Do we got issues? What volume is it? Is it the volume?
Oh, and
Yeah, so you had
we-
issues.
we
What
might-
was your
we
issues?
might-
Just
Carry
remind
on,
me.
carry on,
issues,
Nat.
I mean, general day-to-day stuff. Our dog had a major leg operation last week, and we had to pick her up early from the vet. Hence why I couldn't make it last week. And have we got sound?
Yep, we're good.
We have got
yeah,
sound.
keep on talking.
No, it's
No,
got to be
I
the
can't.
computer. It's
No.
not my hearing aids.
And then we got flooded at the beginning of the week. So yeah, I've had a busy few weeks.
Yeah, so when I rung you the other day, I think you had your dog problem, you got your vehicle problem, and you had a river coming in your house, if that's right.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And how did you cope with that?
Oh, I just got a bucket, bailed out, and we cracked on, Neil, like you do.
I tell you, I was going to come down and help you, but I didn't have any buckets.
I would have, but there was a hole in mine.
So while we're sorting out the problems in the back, we're looking at the next one, which is the voice that matters. Right? We're trying to get out. You as residents, we want to listen to your voice. We're hearing. We're all of us are averaging a lot of emails a day. Right, and we're going to jump on the next subject in a minute, but basically we're trying to relay the messages, what is happening, what we've done, and that's what we're here. Nat?
Yep, 100%, yep.
I will say I quite agree there, just to fill the gap.
Yeah, well, we're losing a bit of momentum here in the background because the guys have got a problem with the sound, and is it all functioning now? Okay, so we're gonna carry on as normal because at the end of the day, it's getting the message across. Okay, we are here. We're doing this also well to listen to people. We're listening to people. We're trying to do our best, and today was a good example of what happened. All right, but that end, we're going to move over to the first thing. Right, we're going to discuss about local issues and democracy.
Shall we talk about what happened today then or not?
No, election called off. That's what we're going to discuss.
Oh, is it all about that one then? That covers both of them, really. That was all. All right, yeah. I mean, there isn't going to be an election, obviously, we know, in May, although there are some by-elections coming up, which, as far as I know, hasn't been that well advertised. But like I said, there are 5 seats coming up, so hopefully we'll be sort of contesting them. Not your hearing aid, is it?
No, it's not my hearing aid. There's still a high pitch. Guys, I apologise for this. We've had a bit of a rewire at the back here, and somewhere is crossing over. All right, so we're just going to carry on as normal and try and work this out. Apparently, I've got to speak up louder.
Oh, no.
All right. So can we move on to the next slide, Rob, before we lose the audience? Guys, if you want to change the picture for me talking, Rob, let's concentrate on the show now. Forget about what's happening in the background. Okay, local issues, democracy. Right, we're going to cover these sections tonight. Let you know the elections which has been called off, and democracy being undermined. Right, the potholes ignored. That's a big thing today, which we're going to discuss. Tony's going to bring to the attention of everybody about the post office failing and what happened to him over the last 48 hours. And the best one we'll save to last is the Hattock meeting, which is Highway Authority Traffic Orders Committee. I got it already.
There you go. You got it right, didn't you? With a little
right,
little
so
bit
that's
out.
what we're going to discuss, and Rob's still working
frantically. So do you want to
frantically.
start off with the potholes first?
No, we'll keep to the system.
Oh.
Democracy. All right. One of my big bearers is democracy being called off. Now, we've spoken to people today. I'm not going to mention names, but to say he's high up in the council. And he has put out some statements, and also Labour have put out statements. Now, they're hiding behind the LGR, the local government reorganisation, which is happening in 2027, what they're saying, 2028. But what's really happening is we're saying there could be election next year, but now I've heard rumour it might even be 2 years for the election. Right? A lot of you will say, well, yeah, we're saving money. We're saving money. We're going to save £207,000. Well, I think Phil Biolic now is 2 weeks after, or whenever they've counted the elections, they're now trying to promote Exeter as
a city of culture.
Thank you, Tony. A city of culture.
That's quite all right, Neil.
Right, so how much does that cost to promote this city? They can find the money for somewhere else. I still say to everybody, right, the election should never have been cancelled. Nat?
100%, no. Everybody should have a right to vote and have that chance. It should not be taken away out of people's hands to and then sort of be railroaded down this road that we're going down without democracy. It's just not fair for the people of Exeter and alike.
Yeah, well, it was good today. Without going into what happened today, I was speaking to a person from the other side, Labour, and I have to defend a little bit with the council, and people are going to say, why are you defending Labour councillors, which I am and I am. But I don't think Phil Bialik had a choice. So let's look at it, what I'm trying to say now. So the government sent this down to the local authorities and they said, you lot make a choice whether you want it or not. Well, that puts the burden onto that person or them people. So the councillors really got whipped into line and they all voted to postpone it. Not all Labour councillors agreed, but they have to postpone it. Now, an interesting thing today, and if I'm correct in saying, Tony confirmed the Reform are going to court on the 19th. It doesn't matter if they win, the result will still be cancelled.
Yeah, the results still stand. I mean,
yeah. So if I'm correct, it's about the judicial way of the process and how they did it, whether they broke the rules by council elections. But the end result, it's still cancelled. And I still ask Nat, why is it cancelled? You know, are they running scared?
Well, I mean, it's blatantly. You've only got to look at the polls. I mean, whichever party you vote for, I mean, by the look of it, Labour looks scared. And it's not a good look, is it? You know, if you want to get accountability and credit, you've got to listen to the people you represent. And it's as simple as that.
Well, that was about today as well. And one of the quotes I said, if we get it wrong, you're going to upset a lot of people. So
people won't forget it.
No, but what I also want to send a message out as well. Anthony Payne, city councillor, all right, he is a reform councillor. He is working hard. All right, he's a newbie like me, so everybody learns at different level. But I spoke to somebody regarding him, and he praised him up. He goes to all council meetings. He's learning very quickly. Now, somebody, and I can't mention his name, has asked him to stand down and to get a by-election. Well, I put this out to that person who's harassing him, an email.
Whose name you cannot mention, remember?
Back off. Let him do his job. Now, if all 13 councillors stand down, I would agree with it. All right? He set a precedence. Now, if this person wants that person to stand down, I suggest you stand down because you got voted in under a reform banner. And I'll leave it at that. That is a bit of a rant. So leave my men alone.
Well said, Neil.
Well, yeah, congratulations. Yeah,
Sorry, it's not my man. It's Michael Fifth's cook. I'm the deputy. And Michael's messages, leave him alone.
So getting back to what we were saying then, I mean, about the May elections being cancelled. I mean, carry on. You were saying what you were on about then, Nate? I mean,
regards taking people's right to democracy away.
Yeah.
And then these people, like the people of Exeter, will not forget. Hello.
Hello.
Something's landing. But it's something that the people of Exeter won't forget.
Yeah, I think even if they delayed it a year or 2 years, they're going to be delaying the inevitable. I can't even say it like the obvious. There you go. It's frustrating because, you know, a lot of time from all parties have gone into sort of canvassing, leaflets, and it was a pointless exercise, you know. So again, it's time from the people, from whichever party has said, like I said, to it's just wasted.
I think they fully underestimate how clever people are as well, and that people have got their own minds. And you know, you've only got to read the room and look around and see the frustration out there. And if you're that confident about yourself, you would go ahead with the elections. But maybe I'm just talking now the horse is bolted, if you like, because what difference is it going to make?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Can you change the picture, Rob? I'm talking now. Concentrate on the cameras. He's trying to do a lot in the background, so I take my hat off to Rob. Well done, Rob. You're working hard. Right.
I mean, the thing is, people forget as well.
Yeah, but Tony, all I'm saying now is I know that individuals in Labour Council are very, very happy it's being cancelled, the elections. That gives them another year, possibly another 2 years. And they're all saying how fantastic they are. They're on about the Exeter Unity Council. which they think they're going to win. I wonder why they think they're going to win. So you're going to put their business case together to the government. The government will make the decision. You got Plymouth doing it. You got Exeter doing it.
No, Plymouth's not doing it.
Yes, they are.
No, because they're already. Unity
Oh yeah, sorry,
Authority.
my correction. All right, so, and the person who spoke to me today, he reckons he's going to get it. Well, look at the state this county's in. Look at the state this city's in. And I don't know what your view, Nat.
Well, I mean, the state of the city. I mean,
Sorry about this, guys. We're trying to take cameras. Rob, concentrate on the cameras. Sorry.
You've only got to drive in and in through the bushes. You're coming into our beautiful city, and half the signs you can't see. There's obviously weeds growing out of every curb and pavement there is. Roundabouts don't look like roundabouts; they look like forests. It's not a good look. And you think all the businesses down on Marsh Barton and Soughton is something Exeter should be proud of. And
Well, you think about it down in Marsh Barton, they've got the biggest selection of car dealers in the whole of Europe. That's something to boast about as well.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny really because I think Phil Bialek said last year that he would never counsel the elections, and what does he do? He counsels the elections, and they blame it on money. Right? I just can't see that they can find money when they want to find the money. It'd be interesting to see how this cultural thing, how much it's going to cost. Don't know what your clue is, Tony, on that.
No, I haven't got a clue on that. But we will, well, hopefully we will find out. So there you go. At worst, there may not be an election, but we will have a chance of being the city of culture. Anyway.
Right, so we're going to move on to the next subject because that really rattles me right now where the elections are cancelled and democracy's gone. The next year, they're not going to do it next year. They'll roll it all through. They'll wait for the LGR. The LGR will take hold. All right. Next minute, Labour's got more power because the more they control, the more power. Then you would have a general election and then they've got all that, But the bottom line is, okay, sorry, you're throwing me off here, Rob. I can't concentrate if I've got background noise, cameras going everywhere, and trying to talk. All right, so if we just concentrate, I'm not worried about how it goes out anymore. All right, we just let it go. Sorry, that's not. These guys are brilliant in the background, but I get frustrated. So going back to the elections, the LGR, they're going to cover all that. They're going to ruin everything. And to me, let's look at this. There's still elections coming in, so let's not get disillusioned. May. We've still got all the other councillors or councils. We've got, I think, Wales, Scotland, England. There's only 29 councils or elections being cancelled. So if Labour get a kick in, all right, if they get a kick in, they're going to seriously have to look at whether we have a general election. That's my view. Or they're going to hang on to power like most people do. Sorry, that's a bit of a rant there. Tony, Nat.
You're quite entitled to rant, Neil. I think that goes without saying. Do you want to start the next one, which I think it's potholes, isn't it?
Oh, right. Brilliant.
Favourite subject for everybody, and one of the things that we do get a lot of emails about. So I think whether you want to start, Nat, or whether you want me to start, it's entirely up to you.
Well, considering I literally just got here with a vehicle in one piece, boat says it all. What a disgrace, isn't it? It's probably one of the main things that hits my inbox. And this week I've been to see a road where actually it resembles more of a green lane than it does a road.
A road.
I was lost for words when I saw it. Obviously it's something that I've addressed with the neighbourhood highways officer, and there is things going on, but when I visited the road yesterday, the road closed signs were up, but not no work had taken place up until that point. Anyways, whether something's happened today, I'm not sure. But we drive our roads every single day, and in what it's becoming, we're navigating the road, and ultimately all these potholes are not just ruining our vehicles, or people's vehicles, it's going to cause an accident in a minute. You know, I've driven, obviously driving around for work and this, that, and the other, and you come around a corner and somebody's on the wrong side of the road because they're trying to avoid a pothole. We need to get them fixed and fixed properly, and pretty sharpish, a bit like a few of the other things in our county.
Tony?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I could rant on for quite a while on this, but I'll sort of go on for a little bit. Isleworth Road, I do get a lot about that. I've been fighting and fighting to get it totally resurfaced. I mean, they will do it one day when the funds are available, probably next year. I did, and it sounds ridiculous, this. I fought and they came up and they were told to fill in 7 potholes. Now, there are about 70 there, so I thought 7 at the end of the day. It's a start. But I attended a meeting yesterday, and it's quite interesting. I was speaking to somebody who's in charge of the highways, and he literally told everybody that officially they're not allowed to fill in potholes after October because with the rain and the frost, it is a waste of time. They fill in the bad ones, but he said it's a complete waste of time because they will blow out. What they have said is they have been trialling at a couple of spots pothole repairs where if you see a pothole, hello Rob.
Bye, Rob.
Yeah, bye Rob. If you see a pothole and you repair it, the workmen, if they see another one within 100 metres, 200 metres away, then they will repair that and repair any potholes they see within a 200 metre square radius. So they've been trialling that in 2 places. It's been a reasonable success, so they're going to trial it on another 2 places this year. So even if it is a success, it's going to be another year before that's implemented, which, again, more potholes. I don't know if it is true. We thought there was quite a lot of money in highways to spend on these road repairs, the potholes. It seems the pot's not as big as we thought. So I'm not going to give the exact amount because I'm not 100% sure, and I may be wrong. But the money has to be used not just for potholes, but for other road maintenance.
We've swapped seats a minute because Rob's trying to do the admin, and I'm going to hand back to Rob now. So bear with me.
This is reminding me a little bit of how my week started last week.
I've said my bit, Neil. Whether you want to sort
I think
do
when
your
you,
bit
when
on
you,
potholes.
when you talk about potholes blowing out, Tony, this is one of my biggest gripes with it. When they fill these potholes, they're just filling what's there. It needs to be cut out and filled properly.
Well,
and you would never go back to it.
in reality, they should have done a proper job in the first place. But
It's
you know,
no good
that's
throwing.
good to hear.
It's no good throwing bags of cold tarmac or likewise into holes, especially this time of year. If it was done properly this time of year, it would stay there. I saw a van pull up 2 days ago. There was 2 potholes, 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
Literally side by side. They filled one. Literally filled, chucked out some bags in it, whackered it, drove away. Filled one, didn't cut any edges, didn't cut any sides, didn't dig any of it out. So whatever depth that was, you know, we've got to start doing things properly that lasts in the county. Not slapdash, do 7 here and go show our faces in another part of the either city or another part of Devon. If you're there, get the job done, walk away and move on to the next location.
I mean, I just said do it once and do it right.
Exactly.
We need more teams out there. Apparently, I think we have got, I think Neil describes them as hot boxes. We have got quite a few of them, which are the vehicles, I'm assuming, that carry all the tar and warm it up. But we need more out there to do a proper job. I've just come back from Egypt. You know, would I say that they were on the same the same level as us, as a country? No. But God, don't their roads look nice? Well presented. I know they don't get the rain, but even when we don't get the rain, the road falls to bits. You know, they get the heat. The roads don't melt. The potholes, though, they just keep coming. And like I said, the typical example is Isleworth Road. It is in a terrible state. It must be, and unless somebody tells me any different, it must be the worst road in Exeter. And I think actually somebody did comment on the Labour side that when he used to use it years ago, people would pay to go on something like that because it was like a helter-skelter where you just went up and down.
Has this gotten worse over the recent past?
Has what got worse? The roads?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they haven't got any better, let's be honest, Rob, have they? They have not got any better. And as it stands at the moment, the way the money is being used and central government are running everything down, can anybody honestly say they're going to see an improvement? You know, we know as county councillors where the money is going to. And that, like I said, is another issue again. We need money diverted out of that and put into highways. The jobs need to be done. The roads need to be improved. If you do not improve the roads, then I'm afraid later on, I think we'll all be back to horse and cart.
Not even that. You wouldn't take an horse and cart over after it, Tony. It's not. That's not the point. I think well, there is a point, but what we need to do to save our money later on down the road, fix what's in front of you.
Do it properly,
and not come back to it. At the moment, it's being whatever money is being used is being thrown away because what they're doing today will be out tomorrow, and so that money's actually means nothing.
This is something that I brought up as well. The fact that we do not have as many in-house teams as I would like. The money is being contracted out, or the jobs are contracted out and outsourced. These people are coming in, they're doing the job, but are they doing it to the right standard and are they using the right materials?
Neil, you have a
okay,
comment on
so
that?
I didn't want to interrupt your flow or anything like that, but let's just backtrack. You said about meeting them the other day. So I've spoke to the people on the Devon County Council hotbox, and the reason I'm telling you is I asked the question, how many hot boxes is there? I didn't get a specific number, but he said loads. To that end, I am, and Tony and Nat, we're going to meet certain people next week. Dan Thomas has invited me to meet. He is Liberal. He's in charge of highways as a councillor. And the person in charge of highways, which I'm meeting on the 4th at 9 o'clock. A lot of questions are going to be asked. The question is how many hot boxes? How many people we've got per vehicle to do these roads? And I'm not talking about Exeter, we're talking about Devon, right? Because we're subbing this out. We're subbing this out to people when the way I look at life is if you work for Devon County Council and you are part of that team, you start at whatever time in the morning, say 7 o'clock, you finish at 4 or 5 o'clock, and your mission is to fill all them as many hoses as you can. So for them to say we can only fill in 7 hose, nothing against them, brilliant, they're working hard, but they have their little tablet.
What they're doing is the tow.
They have their tablet and they get towed 7. Well, I would have said go out at X of time, fill them all in, and come back when the time the clock finishes. To that end, I've had loads of emails, and Myrtle Close. I inherited Myrtle Close, Alphington. I know the trip hazards. I've been pushing and pushing. All the ones that you have reported, I've been round and I've reported them more than once. I'm now looking at how the process works. Do we just get shoved in the inbox and that's it? And say, oh, just another councillor, resident moaning? I am looking at myself, and I'm going to ask you guys, as a councillor for the last 7 months, we haven't been sat on our ass. We report these hoes. We report them. Now, the question is, what's happening up in Devon County Council? All right? Do they just brush it off? I don't know. Maybe there's millions of hoe and we're just down that pecking order. But I also know Myrtle Close, it's over 2 years where nobody's done anything. Right? And that guy's fell over twice. And I can tell Jane, the sister, I am working on it. So I'm never rant again because I just
ranting
think
all day on
why are we councillors? Nobody listens up in the Devon County Council in my eyes.
Yeah, I think
It's not
what you're saying is true. You've got to look. We've got to look at the way the system's going now. We do have what we call a portal that we do report anything like that. it does take time, but we can also talk directly to our highways
Yeah, but
officer.
I just right. The portal's all right, but how does the process work? It gets reported on the program. We don't know what's going on, and then it just go dead, and they think they want to report it. Forget it. You know, Nat, how many O's have you seen filled in besides our 7, Tony?
Wow.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can report them on the portal, and a lot of the time you can be ignored, or you'll be told it'll be done. But that to me isn't a good enough answer. I've been lucky enough to strike up a conversation with my NHO, and he's very active. But even then, regards the road I said I went to look at that looked like a green lane, he's basically said, look, there'll be some filled, and I can't guarantee all of them. Well, it's a waste of time, isn't it? If you're in a location, do it fully, and not have to go back to it.
Yeah, and by the way, the other day was temporary fix.
Yeah.
Well, it is a temporary fix.
It's temporary fix.
And
Like,
I was actually
we're
going
going to have to
grateful.
move on, but there's one thing I'm going to say to every person who's listening, who lives around this Devon. If you get damage to your car,
Put a claim in.
They're going to bounce you back, appeal against the claim, right? They will do a generic letter that they've been out there, they've assessed it, it doesn't go in the criteria, we're looking at it. Don't accept that rubbish. All right, if your vehicle is damaged, and you have to prove it, by the way, it's not a case of just claiming it because your tyre blew. All right, photographic evidence, time, whatever you're going to do. All right, claim on it, and maybe that will wake people up. When we're paying thousands of pounds out with claim. All right, so we're going to move on, and I think Nat wants to go.
Nat's turn. Oh, sorry, Nat wants to go. Oh, right. He's gone to see someone.
Next one, Rob, we're on to now. Right, we're going to talk. This is a good one for everybody. And same again, this is everybody in Exeter now, not just our constituency. I'm going to hand you over to Tony regarding the post office.
Right, so Royal Mail. I think we're all getting emails put for our post about the level of service that we're getting at the moment through Royal Mail. So people are getting post once a week, if they're lucky. Loads of letters coming through all in one time. People are missing appointments. Important legal documents not coming. Bills not being paid because the letters haven't arrived. You know, the service levels are atrocious. So it's one of the things that I sort of went to Osprey Road sorting office first, because I thought that's the place to go and see if I could get some answers. So it took a while to get in, and I'm not knocking Royal Mail or any of the staff at this point. But anyway, when I got in, I did tell them who I was, and I was representing all these people's and their concerns, and I was a county councillor. I got the message back to say a certain person was coming down, but he wouldn't talk to me. So I did come back and say, well, what is the point of him coming down? Anyway, after talking to the lady at the desk, I got told that I had to go to Belgrave Road because it was to do with the Exeter branch.
Yeah,
So
can I just clarify? What was his name?
do I have to?
Yeah.
It rhymes with mercy, Neil.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that. But this is the position I'm looking at. As a representative of the people, Devon County Council, elected official, he went in there on really good manners and asked to speak to somebody. This gentleman, didn't even have the decency to come down. All right.
Well, he was going to come down, Neil.
But not speak to you. What's he going to use?
Well,
Sign
yeah.
language?
Well, that's it. I think it was going to be mind control. I was going to sort of read his mind. It was a bit hard to tell.
Yeah, but I just think that's a poor deal when
well,
we're supposed
I
to be
think
working
it's if that's
together.
what he thinks. If that's what he thinks of the residents and their concerns, you know, I did point out. I hope he treats his staff better.
Right, so
the
you
way he
went
treated
somewhere
me.
else then, Tony, you were saying?
Right, so I went down to Belgrave Road, which is the sorting office down there, and I got to speak to somebody there. He explained the situation. To be honest, I already knew what the situation was because I was told in advance by somebody else. Look, I wrote a letter as well. I've written a letter and got a reply from the hierarchy of Royal Mail. And the excuse was the reasons why, if you want to know their reasons, and then I'll tell you mine, the reasons were the weather. The weather has caused major problems. Well, look, you know, I worked in the parcel industry for 43 years. I've seen it all, and I've seen what weather can do. Yes, it does disrupt things for a couple of days. It just means you've got to work harder. Yes, Rob?
Well, I was going to mention, I had this conversation. In fact, I told a friend of mine what you told me today, Tony. and we talk about different, for example, Amazon. Weather doesn't affect them really.
Oh, that's a good point,
They,
actually.
and you know what? Another thing is the customer service is great because, as many of you know, if you find the button where it says "Call me back," all you do is push the button, and literally within 3 seconds, somebody calls you back. And every time somebody calls me back, they give me fantastic customer service. So, where there's one service where we don't have a choice, they should be giving us even better service, right?
Well, what I don't like, Rob, is being lied to. So when I get told it's the weather, when I clearly got told by another person it's the lack of staff, the overtime ban, people not allowed to come in on their own goodwill on a day off from working, that's the reasons. It's not to do with the weather. The weather will disrupt it a bit, and you can soon pick that up. But the problem is we've now got a big backlog, which has got to be cleared. Clear it. Don't try and do something on the cheap. It will not happen. You're not expected to make a fortune on letters. You're there to deliver the post. People pay a premium rate for their first class stamps. They want the surface.
It used to be first class stamp delivered the next day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that
Second
a delivery?
class
When you get a delivery every 6 days, I mean, what are they doing? Are they walking these parcels down, these letters down from London, bag by bag? It's Exeter, it's Belgrave Road.
Well, and we've had bad weather for years and years and years. You don't have to look that
Yeah,
far
but
back to, so
tell
that's
if you're going to tell something, either tell a very good lie that people are going to believe, or don't try and send me a letter that actually tells me that story, because I wasn't born yesterday.
Well, let's add to
Funny,
the story. So my mother's 85 years old, and she has to pay a lot of bills because of part of the, she still does the accounts for us. But she's getting letters which are over 2 to 3 weeks owed, right? Which are utility bills, and then people are ringing up because you haven't paid the utility bill. Well, she can't pay the bill because she's old-fashioned. She doesn't go online, so she hasn't got the bill until 2 weeks later, and then she's past the bill time. So it's quite stressful.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't all
Well,
on email and this, that, and the other.
You think about it, there's people who are missing appointments for treatments they badly need. Legal documents aren't arriving. And for what? Because Royal Mail do not want to pay overtime because they think they're going to save money.
So just rewind a little bit.
Winds me up now, by the way.
Yes, it sure does. Well, it's important, and again, other people are observing the same thing. In fact, this person I talked to this afternoon said the same thing. So I'm sure it's all over Exeter. But was this the Belgrave sorting office?
Yeah,
Tony?
look, I've got nothing against anyone in there. They did say they were on the case and they've got people trying to sort it out. Well, like I said, they reckon hopefully within 2 weeks that will be sorted. But the thing is, why has it come to this situation? You've got people in their higher management who get paid a lot of money, who come up with the stupid idea of cutting overtime, thinking that you're going to get the same service levels that you did by paying
do you
the
remember
money
you
out.
used to get 2 deliveries a day?
Yeah, well, I
I'm
think
right.
we're hoping on
There
that.
used to be,
We're going to have to move on now to the next subject.
Oh, have we? All right, that's the end of my
Well,
rant
we used
then.
to get a morning post. I think.
Yeah,
didn't we,
morning
Neil,
and
in my
afternoon,
day.
yeah.
You do get a morning now.
How-
Unfortunately, you just don't know what morning it's going to
How
arrive.
this
right.
country's changing.
Well, quickly, just also remember, Royal Mail are on the road all day long, aren't they? All day long. But they got to
I would never
all
knock
their
the
vehicles,
staff.
all their vehicles, getting trashed with our roads. There's another cost to them. The postie that comes to me, their vans are battered now. A lot of them. Do you know what I mean? So it's a vicious circle. It affects so many businesses and everything.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, it's the job of the manager of the local office, isn't it? Which is normally the case with any business. It's not normally the workers per se. Really, it's the management. And
But
it's
it is-
not necessarily senior management, but the middle management. Basically,
Well, something's
right?
not working.
But if you're
is
not
it?
happy, you've got nowhere else to go to. It is Royal Mail.
Something is
They've got the
broken.
market.
Yeah.
Something is broken, just like
You
other
don't
things.
think them trying to take on parcel deliveries?
Well,
as a
this is the
separate
thing you
entity?
see. Now, again, for all my years doing it, there's more money in parcels than there are in letters. But the thing is, parcels contain objects. They don't contain bills. They don't contain appointments. These things have got to come out. You won't make loads of money on letters. You make it on parcels.
Thanks for the conversation. I think we need to. We got a little behind schedule because of our technology problems, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say because I was ranting.
But so you're on the case. Make a long story short,
well,
right, Tony?
At the end, yeah, I've had a reply and I've replied back, and I've actually asked if I can do a one face-to-face with the person, and hopefully that person called Percy, I'll call his name. I hope he sits in there with us as well, because I'd like to meet the person who was a bit disrespectful.
Thank you very much, Tony. Neil, what are we going to talk about next?
Right, the Hat-Top meeting today.
Ah, right. Yes.
Very, very interesting. And if you remember, we've had Ian Frankham come on. We've also James Exeter Cycling come on. And the first discussion was Dryden Road. Dryden Road, I've learned so much. Whatever side of the fence you're on, this is trying to stay neutral now. The last meeting, it was agreed that we'll go to consultation. I could throw a few spanners in the work because Councillor Nash brought some other things up regarding the law and TROs. But at this moment in time, it's still going to consultation. It's going to cost £55,000 for consultation. They're going to go around the schools and ask all the little kiddies about what they think. All right. And my view has to be sat on the fence. You can take your own conclusions, but it could take more months and more time. All right. So what I'm trying to say is you're going to have to bear with the process. It's a process. We're trapped in that process.
It has to be done right so that there is no turning back and nobody can argue and say that wasn't done the correct way. So it is time consuming, but easy enough to do the thing in the first place, hard enough to unravel it.
How long is the process going to take, did you say?
Who knows?
Months, because
as long as the opposition can delay it.
There's all the consultation, and I couldn't run a business like this, trust me. All right, it's very simple. You go out, you have 21 days, speak to people. If you're not happy about it, get everybody views, look at it. I know it sounds simple to me, and you could say we're not within the law, but to me, I can see why this country is in the
you're tied up in bureaucracy. This is the thing, what should be a simple case of
bureaucracy and red
bureaucracy,
tape.
And I said that. I thought
but what I don't understand, we should be listening to the many, and this is not just about Dryden Road. We should be listening about the many, not the few.
Not be interested
in my eyes, in that whole of my world, I always think, why are we listening to the few when we should listen to the many? You can give me some crap on that, guys. I don't care.
Democracy, Neil. Funny thing that.
It works when it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When they want it to work.
So Dryden Road was interesting. Now, my favourite one, Tony, I'll let you start this.
All right, I'll start it off. Now, it depends whose side of the fence you're on. So this concerns the one-way system proposal in Barnfield Road, which would benefit, and I've got to say this with my, cyclists, as a lot of things seem to benefit cyclists. Now, Exeter, and has a very good cycling group. It's hard to say what to describe them as, but they're a very good cycling group anyway. So Barnfield Road was considered dangerous. So the proposal was they wanted to make Barnfield Road a one-way street. So that means you could enter Barnfield into Southern Hay, but if you wanted to leave, the only way to leave would have been down to the bottom to Western Way, and then you would have had to go all the way around. Well, I think Neil can carry on from in a minute. We listened to the debates, both sides. We listened to the people of sort of what their opinions were. And then I think, do you want to carry on with what happened then, Neil? Yeah,
we'll go back to the cycling. So the dream, and this is what I think the dream is, to make Exeter, get rid of the cars.
Yeah.
And we're having a thing called E3 and E9, which is sponsored by the government about bicycle routes. And there's a name for it where we're getting funding. So the funding comes from central government, but we have to put some of the...
It's ring-fenced, I've got to say that.
X amount of money comes from the government, and then the rest gets from Devon County Council. So they have to spend this money. If they don't spend it on a subject or a certain project, they lose it. So this project was brought in where they're going to totally change the whole setup. Now, all I could hear was, it's about the bicycles. A lady with who couldn't see came along, and she said it was all right talking about the the cyclists, but what about my safety? I need to walk along with my dog. All right, I can't really hear, and I definitely can't see, and it's more hassle with the cyclists. But I also, and whether you're going to correct me, I went uptown, which is very rare because I'm busy, and I walked around Exeter City. To me, it's changing. The shops, a lot of them are shutting. Right, they're on about reducing vehicles, traffic. They're on about reducing all this. Well, the centre is suffering, guys. And you're going to make it even worse. Friendly for the pedestrians, friendly. Well, spend that money on making it safe for everybody. That's what I would say. And I asked some questions, Tony.
Yeah.
So the biggest grip on me was they had a consultation, 51% came back. 51%. So the question I asked...
in favour?
Question I asked was, break it down. 51% in favour, 44% against, and 5%, or whatever the percentage was.
Didn't know either way.
Was stood on the fence. All right, so then I asked them to break it down. And what I mean by that is, out of that percentage of people, who was cyclists, who was pedestrians, who works there, who drives their car, they couldn't answer that question. So I'm not saying anything could happen, but just say we had a big organisation of very controlled people.
Cyclists.
Right, and they orchestrated and they send in all the feedback. I think it come to 476 feedbacks. Well, I want to know where them feedback come. Because there's a lot of people. That is a central hub, the heart of Exeter, where you've got the solicitors, you've got all these businesses, and they're trying to make it even more unfriendly. I mean, Exeter's bad enough. Stop building your houses unless you've got an infrastructure. I asked about pollution surveys. What about pollution surveys? All right, they couldn't give me the proper answer. And it just went on and on.
I mean, the thing is, it's like they'll give you loads of statistics, which are really good if you want to sort of believe them. One of them was 500 cyclists used that road every day. Well, they might well do, but they don't all use it at the same time. You know, and you think, yes, a lot of pedestrians use it at the same time, and they walk free abreast on one road, and they have to walk in the road to avoid well, let a person pass through. It's not going to be a continuous system like that where loads of people are walking down these roads. They're just commuter routes where people walk in. And when I listened to this, I thought, well, everything sort of tried to point that had to be done, that job.
But the main thing I will say, and that's what I spoke to the officers offline before we actually went to vote, was if we get this wrong and you're allowed to do phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, all right, without the proper research and everything like that, which I felt wasn't sufficient, that will, I can't use the word I wanted to use, that would upset a lot of people. More people would be upset, which people already upset in Exeter without adding any more problems. Get out of Western Way where you couldn't use the other way. You're just causing more hassle. All right, and then they're on about the traffic lights. We will change the traffic lights where it only changes 3 times to make the traffic go in faster. Well, hang on a minute. I thought we were talking about safety. Nat's not in this because he wasn't at the meeting. Nat. So they want to make the traffic lights less so the cars can go through quicker. So
it just sounds to me like it's somebody's personal ambition.
I think it is.
Yeah, but I understand they've got to spend the money. If they don't spend the money, they don't get it. But come up with some ideas for safety where it combines everybody. What if somebody say Exeter's for all? All right, Exeter's for all. Well, you know, there is traffic, there is cars, there is workers, there is restaurants, there is people. You know, sorry, that's another rant.
I'll give you an example of something that could happen if you didn't get it right. A few of the shops along Magdalen Road are closing down. For example, Ben's Farm Shop, which is a great shop, really a lovely place. And ostensibly, it's because they've suffered because there's only one-way system now, so they're not getting as much traffic. It's harder actually to go visit those stores and those shops along Magdalen Road.
But conclusion, Tony, I'll let you do the highlight of our day.
I'll start it off again and you can finish it. So the conclusion is it went to a vote. So if the vote had gone as they agreed with doing the work would have been one of 3 phases or 4 phases. The work would have commenced. Barnfield Road would have gone one way.
The TROs would have been issued.
Yeah, TROs would have been issued, and ultimately the work would have gone, the consultations and all that would have gone ahead, and the work would have been done. So it went to a vote anyway, and I mean, the good news is we got what we felt was the better answer, which was it will not go ahead because the people who wanted it done lost.
Yeah, so the vote actually went in favour of against, which was 5-4. One representative on the other side of Exeter City Council, I promised her I wouldn't say anything. She voted with us, and it wasn't about political parties or nothing like that. It was about Exeter, the residents and
What's
outside
best for the
people. What is
residents?
best for the residents? And they didn't convince me. They didn't convince 4 other councillors. So that should be dead in the water. My advice to people is if you're going to come up with ideas, right, listen to the people, look at safety, routes. And if you want to spend money, let's get all these markings done on the road, zebra crossings, Sainsbury's, the no-go areas, and get all, it's just horrendous.
Yeah, can I say, when we do go into these meetings, we don't know how we're going to vote. We listen to both opinions. We look at what's in front of us, which are which are the notes and the maps and the plans, and then we each draw up our own conclusions from that. So we don't do a block vote or nothing like that. We go in neutral, and we always say that, and we make our own minds up by what we see. And we're just one person each. The way it went there, you could see 5 people did not agree with what was presented in front of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good thing you're going through this because, in fact, one of our viewers pointed out that, I don't know, is this true? Dryden Road was closed without a consultation?
Well, I
guess it
did
was
bring this up.
during COVID.
I did bring this up that there must have been a consultation because I'm sure it was mentioned, and there was a rather large groan from certain areas.
We've got to be careful what we say here because we've got to get our facts right.
Yeah.
I personally think there was funding. Remember the stupid rule about the segregation and all that, and then it was put in place. Well, I can't see how they could have a consultation properly because everybody had to stay at home anyway. Yeah, so a proper. I mean, you're on about emails. Remember,
Well, they
not
didn't get it
everybody-
through letters, did they?
Not everybody has emails. Letters, well, the postman can't go out, blah, blah, blah. So I would question the consultation so they can close it quick enough, but they definitely can't open it.
Well, you've got to remember, they did do a temporary closure, and I think a little while later, they made it permanent.
Well, I just don't. My personal view is we're wasting so much resources.
And can I
so
say at
much
this
time, so much resources on a small, stupid bit of stretch of road.
Yeah, can I say at this time as well that if I had my way, I would open up Magdalen Road, but...
No, you've got to stay neutral.
No, neutral. All right, well, they're not going to open it, so I can say that.
Well, you as a...
No, but I will say now, I don't have to say neutral on that. So much money's been spent doing what they've done to it. I can say I want to open it because I know it will never happen.
What would never happen?
Going back to your closing roads and making them one ways and this, that, and the other. We've got to make Exeter High Street people friendly for the businesses. Businesses have got to flourish in our country.
Well, yeah, but
and we
it's
need
not.
to help. Go on there. What's up?
No, it's dying. It's
Yeah,
dying
exactly.
because
This is it,
people
but
like.
we need to be helping them.
Well, I think, is it Revolution's the next one that's gone in Queen Street?
Oh, I thought you was on about there will be a revolution.
Well, there
That's
might
what
well
we
be.
need.
Might well be, and it'll start at the Revolution, but I am pretty sure that one's going next.
Yeah,
another
you've turned
another
communist on
pub,
us, have you?
another sort of social
But
meeting
you've hit
place.
it on the nail. Yeah, Rob, Matt, you've hit it on the nail. You know,
I wonder how many.
but I'll tell you how to make it better. Stop the traffic coming in. Put up the parking charges.
Yeah, and stop
Okay.
people-
Put
yeah.
up the business rates. And fantastic. That's going to make the city really good, isn't it?
Yeah, and make it unaffordable for businesses on the high street.
It's a clever
Even
idea.
more unaffordable.
Okay, Neil. So, what's the next step on the on that issue there?
Right, so that's, as far as I'm concerned, it's dead in the water. All right, so they're going to go back, have a look at another
well,
plan.
I
They'll
was
come
gonna
up with
say
some
that
plan.
they're not very
but
happy.
what I will say is, it's all right. We're not slating the officers. They work really, really hard. These officers, and they're doing it to try and please everybody, and they cannot please everybody. So my hats do go off to these people, and I've met some, and I've got a good relationship with these people, and there's not once we're trying to.
Make it you're not trying to make it personal.
No,
Yeah.
It's never
about
personal.
money. It's about money and quality of people driving around Exeter, going to the 7A, and
But we
enjoy
just
it.
felt, the ones who voted against it, we just felt there was no benefit in what they wanted to do. In other words, they did not sell it.
Okay, we're running
Neil?
out of time now. So what I'm going to do is a couple of questions I want to ask people, and whether you could spread this on whatever Facebook page, whatever. Right, so we do this once a week, and we quite enjoy it. And I apologise today that it's been a little bit drama, But like Nat said, he's had a bad week, and I think I've just joined Nat's part of the bad week myself.
Well, we're all on dry January still. For
Oh,
another
yeah,
2
yeah,
days.
I am.
We'll
Speak
blame
for
it on that,
yourself.
right?
Yeah. So I am on dry January. A couple of questions, right? So I know that the Labour are running scared. Okay, I know they're running scared because they've now got the Alphington Councillors News, which I think they're putting 4 or 5 posts up a day. I only average about one every 3 days because, first of all, you can overkill it, and not everybody. But they're putting stupid things up. And this is a bit of a political thing now. So they're talking about buses uptown in a queue. Well, there's a fire up there, so they had the queue. All right, they're talking about the drains. Yeah, we know the drains are overblocked. We know the river's blocked. That's because we've had really different rate. There's one question. Now, Tony and I want to get a leaflet or a newspaper out once a month. Are we wasting our time? Will that reach the right people? And all that is, it's not going to be political rubbish about Labour and the pose. It's about what we've done, what we're trying to achieve, and what people's feedback. So I need people to put on our Facebook, Nat as well, because Nat's doing it. Would it be worth it? One, everybody gets delivered it. If we can afford the whole of Exeter, we will, right? And it'll all be positive news, not slating news.
Hey Neil, a couple of people I know that may be watching or maybe not, but Adrian, Gary, David, John, especially since you're really into this like we are, be great to get some comments on this from you because
we
it's really
need comments,
important.
guys, because it's only one side of the field. Nat, you wanted to say something?
Well, I was gonna say regards. January didn't get the dry January memo, did it? So, and I just want to say one thing as well. Something that I brought up this week in my local area, especially Broadcliss and Stoke Cannon. I know many more are affected. I made an apology to you all on behalf of whoever's responsible. I'm on it. I'll get those gullies sucked out by hook or by crook, and we need to start making inroads and making your villages and towns a better place to be.
Yeah. And by the way, I played pickleball at Silverton this morning.
Did
yeah?
you?
Yeah, I went through Rue and Stoke Cannon, and just say hats off to Derek because he's all over the case up there. I don't know if you know. Do you know Derek?
It's been bad there.
Yeah.
It is a very flood risk area.
Anyway, he was putting out all sorts of notes to us and to many, I'm sure, about what he's done and what everybody's doing, and I think communication is really
Well, it's a
important.
big route into Exeter as well,
Yeah.
and so we need to keep it clear, keep it safe.
Yeah, it's interesting what we're saying, but remember, Reform, second biggest party, have no members on the cabinet. Lib Dems run the show, and the officers in Devon County Council. So you can moan at me as much as you like. We're trying our best, but sometimes, like I say before, it's like pushing a boulder uphill. To
And,
that end,
Neil, just interject a little bit of something here, but even though the elections may probably be canceled, although there's some court cases pending, right? There will be some by-elections, most probably.
okay, so going back to your court case, if I'm correct, the court case, irrelevant what the outcome is, it is cancelled, the elections. We're trying to find ground truth regarding the by-elections. Tony, myself, Nat, possibly maybe 1 coming up, maybe 5 coming up, but people are keeping it close to the chest. All right, so I don't know what it is, but this by-election, we are going to be ready. All right, we are ready to take Labour on. All right. Remember, Labour run Exeter City, Lib Dems run Devon County Council. Reform are just a pain in their ass.
Yeah.
And we'll stay that way.
Last year, you guys remember, we did this almost from a standing start. And how many Labour councillors are there in the Devon County Council? Huh?
Oh, we're just rubbing it in now, Rob.
Well, it would have been nice if we could have been put this to the test in May. How many Labour councillors are left?
I guess you don't know, Nat. Tell us, is it 1, 0, or?
I haven't got that many fingers on me. It was 0, isn't it? Oh, you can do that.
But they had the majority of the vote, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They had
No,
the majority of the vote, but they just didn't get any
Okay,
seats.
to that end, Rob, if we, first of all, want to apologise for the way the show's been run, where it's been bounced backwards and forwards, upside down. But if anybody wants to come along and do better than what Rob does, it'd be a hard job. All right, but if there's anybody there who's technically wants to come in and enjoy themselves, the offer's open.
Plenty of buttons
The
to
offer's
press.
open to anybody. We've got Robbo coming on next week, a taxi driver, going to be telling about home truths. The week after, we're hoping to get the police officer to come on. I've also asked Phil Bialek to come on neutral. It'd
Nice
be not
try on that
politics.
one, yeah.
He's not. He didn't say no. He didn't say
Well,
no.
he didn't say yes.
But
either,
I'm
did he?
gonna end up thanking everybody for coming on. And Rob, I'll let you have the last word, sir.
Nat, you coming on next week?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Okay. Tony, you coming on next week?
Of course I am.
Neil, you coming on next week?
Of course I am. You can't
Okay,
get
well,
rid of me.
doggone it, I'm going to be on next week, okay? And
Well, what happened
anyway,
tonight? You might as well stay here all week and practice.
Hey, we overcome.
I don't know. Some gremlin came in last night and rewired the whole flipping studio here. So
It
Yeah,
might
well,
be the
that-
metal.
yeah,
it
I was
might be-
working-
the rap
It
for
might be the metal in my leg.
I think
Rob.
his name starts with.
Yeah, all right. I spent till
so
12
and so.
o'clock trying to tidy the wire up. Okay.
Anyway, episode 31, done and dusted. And hey, guys, we'll see you next week for a next exciting adventure from our secret underground bunker. Right, Tony?
Certainly is.
Okay.
That we can't talk about.
Respect the place that you call